It's another awesome time right here on Boxpod TV, and it's time to watch Run the Tape. If this is your very first time, let's imagine you have dropped from the sky and you have just resuscitated from a coma. Welcome back. I'm your host. They call me Kwambox, and of course I'm going to be joined by somebody in a bit. First things first, how was your weekend? I hope it was great. I want to take this moment right now to wish our former president Uhuru Kenyatta happy birthday. Hey, facial expressions are just the best. Like, what is this? Anyway, I want to get right into it. I want to get into my rant. And this week, there's something that was trending over the weekend. Oh, I hate to be the one talking about these things. So, a Meru woman found herself as national news. National, right? Why? Her nudes were leaked. Yeah. Now, allegedly, the video is of her satisfying herself, right? For lack of better terms. Right? And these intimate videos ended up being, fodder for the internet. And you can imagine, she's a mother who has kids. She says she has 3 kids who are in high school. And she was sending this video to somebody who said they'd pay her, allegedly, 20K. Anyway, as the story goes, she's trending and everybody's shaming her for this video. But guys, I want us to reverse to the core thing, right? We need to ask ourselves a question. Why would a mother of a Form 3-year-old student, right? I don't know, Form 3 student, right? Be creating sex tapes to send to somebody for them to give her cash? Say it with me. We are in shit. The economy is tough. So you're looking at this mother and you're judging her. But I'm here to tell you guys, I don't think she's the only one. Number 2, who are these people who want to watch mothers jazzing themselves? You're the problem. Yeah, because this is the video that was leaked. But how many other mothers, including your own, is probably paying your school fees through this intimate OnlyFans? Anyway, she's asked for our forgiveness. I mean, we need to be apologizing to her because technically these are her intimate moments that were leaked. She didn't ask you to watch that video. And for those of you who watch it, you have a kink. Let's just be honest. I've gotten off my chest. Right now, I want to introduce my guest as he walks onto set. I hope you can let him introduce himself. Hello.
Did you see that entrance?
I saw it. Very, very, so sleek.
Good to see you. You're aging younger and backwards.
Thank you.
Is that a compliment, or you're those people who are like,
that is just a millennial. That's just a millennial.
You and I used to work together.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Remember those days?
I know. Waking up very early in the morning to go to Citizen TV. Anyway, now here we are on Boxpod TV.
Yes, wonderful.
For those of you who don't know you,
which is my camera?
This is your camera.
My name is Eriq, and the other one is Omondi. Can you believe it? I'm a conversationalist, and I've been invited here to talk about tea because I have some Luya bloodline.
My guy.
Can you believe it?
Omondi Luya.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, because I was just like, what you talking about? Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
You good?
I love that thing. What do you call that stuff?
Do you know, I'm very glad you brought it up because I was like, if nobody brings it up in the comment section, they're just pretentious, right? So I was going for an event, 23, and I had to make an outfit. And so I saw this thing. This is supposed to be a huge, big flower, right?
Oh, wow.
So Kenyan designers, this is what I got. I mean, I feel like it was going there, so I'm not gonna knock the hustle.
But it can serve a couple of purposes, including just using it to tap your.
I know. Watch it. Anyway, so today I saw it in the wardrobe, and considering how I woke up, I said, yeah. But Eriq, last week must have been hectic for you.
What happened?
Were you in mourning?
Oh, because of the right honorable.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for having me. I was shocked. I was really, really shocked and sad at the same time. I feel like Raila has been sort of an emblem in how we view politics. From as far back as I knew how to read, he was somewhere on top of the front page of the newspapers. Yeah. Did you ever realize that on all the papers?
That's called politics.
Yeah.
That's how you do politics.
But I've also been wondering loudly with my friends how he managed to permeate the national frontier and stayed there for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that.
I mean, there's so many people who I feel like, I mean, for me, this last week was great from aspect of a lot of Kenyans did not know about Rao and Africans, right? And not just, it taught us that a lot of us, we focus on trending news. We don't know things that happened, like, say, in 92, you know? Yeah. And so it was sort of like a history lesson to quickly update guys. But when it comes to politics, I think there are so many schools that need to be studied. Like, if you study how Moi managed to keep the country together for 24 years, right, at the helm. There was multiple attempts to try but he contained that. But
I feel like he was a child of his time. Now everybody has an opinion. I mean, look at us. Yeah. You have a whole production company going in. Kwambox, the baby Kwambox. Yeah. So, and everyone has an opinion, and everybody has a phone, and it's a bit different now. I wonder how Moi would do now in comparison to how he did then. I feel like things were easier then because you had to know the name of the chief. Provincial commissioner, the DO, and then you say, hapo Nyaribari chache nasikia kuna mtu anasumbua anaiba kuku. So all you had to do is call the PS, who would call the DO, who would call the PC, who would call the village elder, and then you had all the info. But now a chicken dude can steal chicken and get onto a train and go to Mombasa and hide there.
Yeah. You know, and also there's also another guy who, you know, maybe guys can study while he's alive. Kalonzo.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And Mudavadi.
Mudavadi as well. But like Mudavadi's politics is so boring. I try not to talk about it. I like Kalonzo's kind of politics. But he's also survived, Yeah.
Like everybody who comes to power somehow places Mudavadi somewhere.
Kalonzo is that guy who doesn't go for the top seat, you know, but he's always on the table.
Yeah.
Right? So, and if you study the same ethos is what Alfred Mutua is using as well. And so many people who have learned, get a party, get numbers, become influential. And every person who's going for the top seat will want to have a conversation with you.
It's a numbers game. So you can say, I'm bringing you 500,000.
That's it.
Would you ever go into politics?
That's a very interesting question. I think about it, but let's just leave it. Let's leave a pin on it. Yeah.
I've once visited a politician I knew quite intimately. And I stayed over at his house, and at 4 in the morning, there was a whole queue of people coming to have breakfast and tell him their problems. And that's when I decided I don't think I love service that much as a politician.
That's why I said a pin on it. Because I think if I was to take part in politics, oh God, I don't even know.
And you know, you also have to work on your lies. You have to be an incredible liar. With a straight face. Like, vinye tunafanya, mambo tunapanga. Vile tutaenda tukiendaga. Na ni kitu wa mama tumeambia vijana. Na wa baba tukaambia wazee. Ama namna gani?
Yeah. You have to be like, but it's you have to be, it's like a parent, you know? Like your dad doesn't tell you everything when you're a kid. You never knew, you're not privy to every situation that was unfolding. For example, if you know, you guys were on the verge of being thrown out of the house, your dad is not going to come to you and say, unajua kesho tunatupwa nje. He'll manage you. So I feel like there's extremes, which currently there's a lot of lying going on globally from presidential leaders. But generally, I feel like leaders just lie. Even Obama was a liar.
The Kenyan electorate especially loves, because we don't have a celebrity culture per se. Kenyans are very peculiar in that you could put Paul Tergat, who's won difficult feats.
Bro, you said Paul Tergat. Like, that's how you know how old you are.
Yeah. And then right next to Paul Tergat, you put, or let's say Faith Yegon. Okay. And then right next to Faith, you put an MCA. Do you know Kenyans are more drawn to these MCA because of his balderdash more than somebody who's done something very important?
But also, it's the access. And that also speaks on the level of maturity of the electorate. You know, you understand that is equals to handouts. Is equal. Tell politicians to stop doing handouts. Let it be banned. And notice how the public will just be like, sawa unatusaidia na nini? Ask an MP. You know, there are those ones who step in there and they say, you know what, I'm going to be different. I'm not going to give handouts. I'm going to talk to them. Bro, unafikiri wa Kenya wako hapo ni masikio tu wanataka kukupatia?
There's a theory I've had it peddled. I don't know if you've had it. That if you're trying to hook up with a nice, fine chick and she knows you have money, money is the last thing she'll ask from you. Okay?
Okay.
But if you're trying to hook up with a chick who suspects you're broke, she's really going to make your life difficult.
What?
So is it possible that Kenyans love the idea that a politician would give them money, not so much because they give them anyway. It's a promissory note. Mkinchagua, mkifanya, tutafanya. But a Paul Tergat who may give, again I'm using Paul Tergat, Paul, an athlete who may give anything.
I can tell you he doesn't watch this.
You just never know, man.
Okay, cool.
And then it's possible that Faith Yegon or Tergat who would give then is not seen as somebody who can give, so nobody bothers with it.
Yeah.
So in the public perception, people feel like if you're in power, then you have money. And I need to be in your good books.
Access. Is that access? The closer I am to you, the closer I am to the president.
Yes.
The closer I am to you, the closer I am to Rao.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. So if I give a very drab joke, you laugh because I know people.
That is so true. You know what? Actually, I did have an incident in traffic the other day, and I posted it on my socials. Right? Yeah. And you know, I'd love your opinions on this because after people were split on how I handled the situation. So the story goes, I was in traffic and sitting there on Huru Highway, and then a beggar comes to my window, right? And you know, like, this is Kenya.
Yeah.
This is, in fact, sorry, my bad. This is Nairobi, right? Yes. I know everybody's a hustler. Yeah. You can have your outfit for going to the street, you've packed, you put your bag on the corner there, and you go to the street to beg. So, excuse me if I want to first sororayu, to be able to see what exactly has led you to be on the street. So yes, we're having a bit of buns. Should I not have buns with a beggar? I should. Like,
should,
hi, okay, so what's up?
After all, you want my money.
Exactly. Yeah. So in the middle of us getting to know each other, he saw a G-Wagon on a lane. Bro, nilikuwa najiongelesha.
He took off.
Hey, bro. Like, I think he, for a split second, even forgot that my leg or something he went to the G-Wagon, stood by the window of the G-Wagon, give us, boss, give us free. The guy refused to open the window, right? So now at this point, the guy remembers, there's a deal ilikuwa inaenda kuivana. He now comes back to the car. And in my head, I'm like, sorry, who are you? Mimi panajua wewe. So that's how I handled the situation. Yeah. Would you give the guy cash after?
No, because you're not even paying me any mind. So you've decided that is better than this.
I felt he was rude.
You know that Alikiba song for Unatema Bigiji kwa karanga ya kuonjeshwa?
I can promise you that I don't hear what Tanzanian songs say. I can promise you for free, right?
So the idea is unavyodhani ndivyo sivyo. And many of us make decisions like that. All that glitters is not always gold, and some of it is severely damaged goods. So the guy makes a quick assessment. Okay, Kwambox has a German car, but it's not a German car. So let me go to the German screaming German.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like so crazy. Anyway, speaking now that you've brought us to TZ, wow. Guys, you know I've been avoiding talking about TZ, but this week, sina suluhu yoyote ila kuwapatia the news, right? Somebody needs to tell me, do you know who's running in the election? You know TZ is currently in
Yes, I've seen snippets of the electioneering.
Yeah?
I saw the mama akisema lazima ujiandikishe kupiga kura kwa sababu itakuwa nzito sana kwako usipojiandikisha kama Watanzania wote sote. Sisi wote tupiga kura.
Kabisa. Wacha nikwambie kuna gap, yani Tundu. Kuna gapu kwenye hiyo election. Yani Tundu Lissu, the biggest opposition, yuko gerezani. Amelokiwa uko ndani. Wanasema treason. Right? Lakini we ukireason. Treason inakuja hapa next election. Ikasema, you know what? Wacha tuangalie. Right? Lakini si uko kwa sababu Kenya walifanyia kina Boni. Bro, mi siendi uko. Wacha tuochie hapa. So as we are watching, let me show you who is the candidates, because Tundu si yako ndani. So who are the candidates? As you can see, contender number 1, Suluhu. Number 2, Samia. Number 3, Mama. And number 4, Hassan. She's running against herself. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's
wow.
TZ is crazy, man. I've been seeing such crazy videos coming from there. You know, like when TZ look at Kenya, for example, like how us guys are just brave enough to go to the streets. We're like, mandamano one time, right? They can't do that.
I feel like we had the advantage of being squeezed earlier.
What you talking about?
Yes, so we, you know the way you've grown some sort of thick skin?
Yeah.
I feel like Kenya has been there. I feel like our neighbors are where we used to be in the 90s.
Bro, are
during
you talking
war.
to
No, for
TZ
real.
like that?
Have you ever seen Tanzanians and Ugandans wander about us? You know, Kenyans are very brave. They just wake up in the morning and they go to CBD. And you know, you are sitting like that and wondering, oh my goodness, there's a police right in front of him. And he holds a placard and saying, I am the one who pays you. All the time in my heart, it is beating in my chest because if it was Uganda, you see,
Yeah.
we become immune. So as we go, because tumefinywa, and then I feel like we need to look into this more deeply. We've got nothing to lose because the option is dire. I feel like maybe Ugandans like to make fun of us, and maybe Tanzanians as well, but they have some bananas to fall back to.
Do you know what I'm saying?
If you're in Nairobi and you've not eaten and you've not paid rent,
My guy, you have to be at the
you'd rather be short because now your landlord is going to do you dirty.
Yeah.
So I feel like we also need a collective, hopefully in the next general election, and just see how much suffering are people really suffering to be able to go face cops to be shot in the state of, being in the comfort of their homes.
You know, sorry, I was listening to you and I just had a brain fart, right? Because I'm asking myself, we always joke about this thing that Museveni talks about Ugandans. And shout out to Uncle Clemo, baby, who had a very interesting take on Kenyans. When you just did that, I was like, run the tape.
Tension gripped Jomo Kenyatta International Airport last week as crowds of mourners overpowered security and accessed the plane that ferried the body of the late Raila Amolo Odinga. The whole time I watched that footage, I kept telling myself, this is AI. Then I realized it was not AI, and I hoped the pilot had gone with a key. It was a country mourning, but Kenyans have shown to just do what they want.
Show guys that clip. Anyway, so it's what you've mentioned about Museveni says Ugandans will never go to the street. Why? Because he got food. They're never gonna. Kenyans will fight because they're hungry. You know what I'm saying? But then it got me thinking, and you've just said it, like if you don't have money in Nairobi, you're gonna sleep hungry, right? Where the fuck are the banana trees? Sorry, pardon my ignorance. No. Yeah. Where are our banana trees? Where are the free mango trees? Why do I have, okay, I love jacaranda season, right? But why can't we line our streets with bananas? Banana trees
so that somebody can plant.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't speak enough about the difficulty of living and sort of surviving in Nairobi. We laugh about it. We say Nairobi ni shamba la mawe, but truly, you imagine somebody who's just landed on Friday night from Shags and they're trying their luck in Nairobi. It's tough.
Bruh.
It's really, really tough.
Yeah.
And so after you've gone on a year of toughness, 2 years, 7 years, 5 years, 10 years, you become immune. So if here we're going to remove some politician who has been eating our money, you're like, I'd rather be a martyr than keep taking naps for dinner.
Honestly.
I know somebody once told me that they were so hungry they had to sleep early after taking water so that they don't wake up feeling hungry. At least usingizi kutane na njaa.
Can you hear? These are those dehumanizing moments that just, and it's the other day I saw someone posting and asking, like, how the fuck did our parents buy houses?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you find a 30-year-old had a house.
My mom built her house to completion in her 30s. I think by 33 she was done doing a 4-bedroom house. And every time my sisters and I sit down, I'm like, I can't even plan my shopping properly. How did mommy do it?
Yeah.
She did this while having 3 whole kids and as a single mother.
Do you salute her?
Oh my goodness. I almost do backflips.
You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I think, again, I don't think the political class had become as greedy as they are. Me, I would blame the politics of the day, to be very, very honest. I mean, we have these grand stories of billions being looted. In those days, MPs were not getting as much money as they're getting right now. And not to be sued, but, there's something in there. Somebody gets into the office and literally in months, they're building the most magnificent mall. Yeah. Months! Like 9 months in, mtu amenunua.
Ungelesha governor wa Mandera hivi.
And then back to the conversation we were having about how we clap and cheer and celebrate somebody who's become an overnight billionaire.
Yeah.
I think Ken Walibora wrote a book, a tamthilia called Mbaya Wetu. That if you're kissy and you're stealing, you're good. No, you are good. Severe kisses. You just eat. And you hear this vernacular quite a lot. Provided it's a Luo, even if I'm not eating, it's fine. Let the Luos eat. Provided it's a Kikuyu, it's fine. Huyu ni mbaya wetu.
Mbaya wetu, yeah.
But kama ni mbaya wengine, then we're up in arms. You're like, oh my goodness, you're such a thief.
Yeah.
You guys are thieves.
You know what I find so interesting, right? I don't know whether to continue from. They are not related.
Yeah.
This is not related to what you are saying. A former president.
Yeah. Uhuru.
Yeah. Kenyans are talking about like they miss him, they want him to come back, and I'm like, what is it that we don't understand about you just, like what you're talking about? A lot of Kenyans in the eating are not part of it. Like we're not part of it. So why am I okay with you doing this? And we live in a nation where the people who steal from us, they don't hide it. They'll come to you with a chopper, which even Donald Trump doesn't have. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, instead of doing rally where you're talking to us about the things you're going to do for us, just do a business class. Teach us thy ways. Like, don't come here to pontificate about all the fucking things you ain't going to do, right? Just sit here, easy rallies, turn them into a business class.
Yeah.
Speaking of class, Babu, we know, you know what's happening with the education system, right?
Everybody's striking.
Everybody's striking, bruv. Lecturers, hawajalipwa. Eh, wamelipua. Kwanza there's another nini.
That's a rhyme. Hawajalipwa, wakalipua.
There's another uni where they were dancing. I think it is Moi Uni was one of them, right? It's so sad to see, man. To think that there was a time professors and the lecturers were, you know what I'm saying,
we
right?
looked up to them.
But now they're on strike. KCSE ilianza last week, right? Babuino has decided to take matters into his own hands. Run the tape.
First number is 72. Now, class, if you're given first number as 72, do not panic. There are two ways of doing this. The first one, just do GCD.
So, there is Babu, literally doing the Lord's work, right? Question is, why do we need somebody online teaching? Do you think this is part of campaigning?
So the thing about this is this. I like what you said earlier about people ruminating about the former president coming back.
Yeah.
I think in politics, I don't know if it's global or just here, we are amongst the few countries who reward mediocrity shamelessly and continuously with such consistency that is shocking. I don't know if you came across a tweet. Somebody said when Raila died, they said we need to really reward Ogeta with a position as an MP. And then somebody wrote on top of that tweet and said, how about we just make him a neurosurgeon, seeing as we are dishing out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because
we're giving out positions.
What, bro?
So what I feel is...
We live in a country where Gideri, man. You hearing me?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even use him to go and promote healthy diets. You know what I'm saying?
He was given land.
Like, he was given the highest honor in this country.
So I think we need to interrogate. And I don't know, I'm conflicted about this. My friends think I'm a perpetual optimist. And my optimism sometimes with the Kenyan context is misplaced. But I feel if we can, and I think these would not fall in the favor of a politician because they thrive in a Kenyan's ignorance. So that if a border guy is breaking the laws, oh my goodness, you can't punish that because these are the guys who wake up and vote for me. But I think we need to interrogate ourselves. If you're watching this, ask yourself what motivates you to vote for the person you're voting for. On a very serious note, be you a middle class, upper middle class, lower and struggling, what is it that motivates me to vote for this person? Because, Kwambox, anywhere you go in the world, in the media, they'll ask you to do some particular things in your deliverables. So they'll say, Kwambox, we need you to run this campaign, and you have to be very audible, and you have to enunciate and pronounce these words clearly to this target audience. And then they'll ask you, is this something you can do? And you'll say, yeah, I can. Then say, okay, append your signature here. Then they'll give you money and tell you to go and do it. Politics seems to be the only place where if you are eating githeri, for instance, in the queue, when you're about to vote, now people are like, let's make him an MP.
Yeah.
Like, how does that marry between you being somebody's bodyguard and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, you deserve 700,000 a month. Is that how much they are?
MPs? Bro, are you talking about MPs from Afghanistan?
How much do they are now?
When we're talking about Kenyan member of parliament, it runs in the seven figures.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's how we make decisions.
I think if we draw it closer to home, before we went on, you were telling me about your help and the conversations you have with your house manager. We are very critical. I was telling my house manager the other day, when we began, he used to pay more attention to my sufurias, and I would almost look at my face in them. But I feel like umenizoea.
Amejua standard yako.
Yeah, and then now there are days you come in, anakuja tu nikani kwake. So I was telling her,
Eriq,
so I was telling her, you can't just show up. See, there is ethics that you need to follow. Unakuja tu.
Kuna mutaratara. Huyo ni bibi yako.
So she just keeps saying, kesho nakuja saa 8. I'm like, you're informing me, not asking. Nani ameandika nani hapa? So I told her, no. I prefer that you come at 6. You're done by 10. Then you can do whatever else you want. Then I want my clothes out of the line and pressed by the following day. Are we clear? Don't tell me what you will do. I am telling you what you should do. So if we are that strict with our house managers, when it comes to the schools we take our kids, we look at the curriculum. People now, again, because of the madness in the educational system, we are like, can I get a fairly nicely priced private school?
Yeah.
And I see friends of mine who've even moved way yonder out of town so that they're near decent schools that, wouldn't have their kids waking up very, very early. When we're buying cars, we are very meticulous. How many mileages has it done? Has it been corrupted? Can I get an ex-Japanese or ex-UK car? Is it diesel engine or petrol? We are very, 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 very knowledgeable, and we do research and we talk to people. If I want to set up a podcast, I'll talk to you and talk to somebody else and talk to your engineer and so on and so forth. How come when it comes to electing your local representative, even MCA, you're so mindless? You say, party nigani imefront hiyo mtu, mi nitavote your party. Party tu nitavote tu. You don't know that there were thieves, they stole money for the road, whatever last time. Unamweka tu.
Naambiwa tu 6 piece.
Unachukua 6 piece yako unaweka pa.
Honestly.
So I think it's something worth thinking about.
It's like even religion. People, when it comes to these two things, you're a religious guy.
Yeah.
Right? Did you go back to Catholic?
I don't think I'm religious. I don't like labels.
Yeah.
You know what
do you go to church?
I do.
See where you're the religion.
No, religion can be performative. I like to think of myself as somebody who has...
Your church, iko na religion.
I like to think myself as somebody who is fostering an amicable relationship with a deity who is God.
What?
It's the same way you and I have a relationship that is functional. I can call your number, you see Eriq called, you'd miss my call, then you call me back. So you cannot call me, are you a Kwambokite? I have a relationship with Kwambok.
Anybody is a Kwamboxite is a boxer. Right? That's what it is. But religion is there's a Swiss church that has an AI pastor.
Oh yeah.
Full. Like it's fully AI. The pastor is. Because think about it. Like one of the biggest challenges we have, especially in Africa, is rogue pastors. Right?
Yes.
Mutu amesoma. I may decide, you know what I'm going to tell you? Anaweka kwanza kuna churches zingine staki kusema. You know me, I came from an SDA background, right? We don't, hakuna mbwembwe.
Yes.
Hakuna.
I've actually never attended an SDA church.
Bruv.
Are you guys like Pentecostalists? It's very chill. Do you sing loudly?
No. You sing
from Do you jump with those long skirts?
No, bro. There's no jumping for who?
Do you clap?
No.
Oh, it's just...
I feel like you disrespected us.
No.
But
no,
yes,
honestly,
yes.
Because I've had SDA choirs and they really slap.
Exactly.
One of
the biggest challenges, like last week when we were talking with Shiro Hoste right there, and we were talking about Pastor Nganga. It's like, you take scripture and you just decide however, and we call it rogue. But think about it, AI has all the Bible. Imesoma yote. Right? So it's not going to just tell you what it's thinking. It's going to tell you from this scripture, right? Now, it gets even more complicated. But how many AI apps are you using? And be honest, there's no judgment here.
I think one.
ChatGPT, bro. Kwani that cost? There's an ad that's usually on YouTube. That's like people over 40 are using ChatGPT.
I feel like they're always attacking me. I really skip that thing. I'm like, skip.
But it knows. It clearly knows you're using only one app, and that's why it's coming to you with ChatGPT. Yeah. I mean, if I'm being honest, I use like maybe 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But now I've added the 5th one.
Oh, right.
Right, and it is AI. Jesus.
Wow.
Yes, like Jesus, you get to speak. What is a hypothetical that you had his voice and you are hallucinating?
What is the last time you asked Jesus on AI?
I asked him when he's coming.
Do you want Jesus to come?
Let's play this video. Run the tape.
Jesus is now an AI subscription. Silicon Valley's newest product is your soul. A new wave of AI chatbots like Text with Jesus and Virtual Jesus are attracting millions of users. These apps aren't just talking about Jesus, they're claiming to be Jesus. And when you ask them directly if they're Christ, most of them say yes. And these apps aren't run by churches. They're AIs built by for-profit companies. The creator of one of the most popular apps, Text with Jesus, says he's not particularly religious. He made another app where you could chat with Satan directly. In his Text with Jesus app, you can chat with Mary, Joseph, and Jesus for free, or pay $5 every month to chat with other people in the Bible. Many of these apps sell premium subscriptions for you to have an ad-free experience with God. These chatbots aren't built to be spiritually sound. Their only goal is to keep you on the app to make money from ads. The longer you stay, the more they get paid. They don't care about ministry, just money. Many of these Jesus chatbots also give unbiblical answers to hard questions because the real truth might make you log off. Even if you think these apps might be useful, the technology that they're built on top of can always do something called hallucinate, which is make up things that aren't true. This is because those AI tools underneath are actually word calculators. They don't understand language. They just calculate what word it thinks you want to hear next. These types of AI can never tell the truth 100% of the time.
We are going into in fact, before I even say anything, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think of this AI?
I would want to interrogate a bit more about the backstory. I like that the lady has said that sometimes they give some very hallucinated viewpoints that are not depicted from the scriptures.
It's a thing AI has, which is hallucinate. So hallucinate is AI doesn't understand context, right? Because it's never lived the context. So it knows the words, it knows the right answers, it knows how to be able to, it knows what you want to hear, right? Because it's reading all this data. But then in the process, what they've realized, and that's why all the AI apps will tell you that, verify the information. People, especially if you're doing a coursework, you're a lawyer, a lot of lawyers are busted like that, because you go and get the information like this, and you don't know that this AI has tendency of hallucinating, saying things that are not there, matching words and things and situations, and then just slipping it in there. Now that's where it becomes dangerous, because if young people, and I know Gen Z who do not Google, don't use, so like for example, if you're on TikTok, you don't need to leave TikTok to find out any information. You just go into the search bar and look for the information right there.
Really? From like a random video person?
So let's imagine you're scrolling on, like, you find a video of, like, the Mave whose videos were leaked, right? And you want to know the backstory. So you found a video of her maybe crying, right? And usually, if you check in the comments, at the top there, they've already suggested to you, because people will be asking, like, say, for example, like, nudes, what happened, right? So there will be another video. It will lead you to another video. So when you so most people, and they build TikTok and these apps like that because they don't want you to leave.
All right.
Right? They don't want you to leave this app. The more time you spend there, the more money they're able to make. So there are people who use, say, you and me, we are from an era where Google is how you verify information, right? But for a Gen Z, TikTok, search bar, works as good as Google.
That's interesting. But then they don't stumble on some sort of founded truth? Because anybody has an opinion. I can come and say something so crazy about you, and if the search bar says what Eriq said about Kwambox is somebody's reference point about you, then that's crazy, because now it will lead them to what James said about me when I said about you, and then...
That's what we're dealing with. Like, I've learned so much from TikTok, from diseases. TikTok is an academy of medicine.
Really?
Right? You see, bro...
but now, how do you verify the information?
No, see, now you've got, like, now, before TikTok, honestly, I knew a few types of humans.
All right.
Now, I'm seeing people with yellow eyes. Like yellow.
But you're also a very curious person. Like, I can imagine your TikTok search bar. It's just so intense. I'm not that curious.
No.
Sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'll be misled, so I stop.
No, but information is power. Right? The more you're able to understand. So, for example, I'm not going to look for videos of murder or rape or things that are jarring. I'm not going to do that. But do I want to know that there's a disease where I could be talking and then I just fall asleep and then I start laughing? And you're like, no. You see the first video and you're like, mtu ana fake. So now you go to the search because it's told you Eriq's disease, Eriq syndrome, right? Yes. So I'm like, Eriq syndrome tena. So now I'm there, and there's one person who's put like just the definition in words and scroll. And 99% of the time, because I'm a millennial, I'm going to Google to verify this information. And you find it's legit. So most people just are in that ecosystem of, they never leave. So the same thing with AI is happening, that you're doing assignments, you just ask AI for everything. You're studying, you're planning something, you ask AI, hey, do you think it's a good idea if I put this and that? Yeah, if it's hallucinating, it could lead you to the wrong information.
We were having a similar conversation with a friend of mine recently. He has a habit to, record himself and give AI suggestions about how an email should look. And so he sent me a bunch of those emails. And I keep telling him, while I appreciate that this is well written, it still lacks your voice. You see, there's a way Kwambox talks. Yeah. If somebody came here and dressed like you and they had a mask of you, their mannerisms, if somebody knows you well, be like, there's something off. Either Kwambox is unwell or that is not Kwambox. So I feel like the dangers of, I appreciate what AI is able to do. That, onto your point about hallucination, I feel like losing your essence, even in the way you write, can be such a drawback that I feel if we use the AI to adorn who we authentically are, so that we sort of use it to synthesize the Kwamboxness instead of removing ourselves and just letting AI be AI, then there would be a danger in there. Again, onto the video and what the lady was saying. You are listening to something that is lacking context, and if you take that as a truth, then you run the risk of being as an echo chamber of AI.
Bro, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Information is being taken, like all the things we are doing, and then it's passing through AI, and then it's creating, like now, if it's, for example, slang. I remember the first time, like when we were in high school, you'd hear slang from the UK. So, of course, Asamabani would come, and then they start, in it, right? But in it is like now with social media. I'm talking about like back, where someone would say, hey, pass me the fag. And you're like, sorry, what? That was before fag turned into something else in America. But so it would take time before lingo, even from lingo to chomoka from Dandora to La Vie, right? Would take maybe 2 years, right? Now, someone just says, Clark it in Malaysia. Kids in everybody in the world.
But what does clock it mean? You're correct. Like I got it.
Exactly.
All right.
You clocked it. Clock it. I see. So we're literally living in an echo chamber. Yeah. I'm concerned. I want to see us like 5 years from now. We're going to be so the same. Yeah. Like, what would make you Kenyan, differentiate you from somebody who, like a kid who's growing up in Malaysia? If like all of you are on social media, case in point, I saw a video on TikTok. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it. And this lady has, this kid is under 1 or maybe less than a year and a half. I think kids start talking at like, I don't know you. I don't know. Musini kujie. Can tell me there in the comment section. So she's noticing the kid is talking, but this baby talk sounds too legit. It just sounds too legit to be baby talk, right? So she asks guys on the internet, is there anybody who knows what this kid is? It's Japanese.
I think I saw something like that, yeah.
Because the kids are watching
in
Japanese cartoons, right? So that kid has more in common with the kids around the world who are watching this content than with the next door neighbor who probably is playing outside.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm concerned that in about 5 years' time, the idea of culture, and that's why culture is so important right now, right? And being different, because with all this synthesizing, and then it comes out on the other side as now this is what prescription, right? So you're being prescribed to something you contributed to, and then now it's come back to you. So it's very interesting.
To watch.
Another thing that's very, very exciting. I know AI is very exciting. But hair loss is also a big conversation, right? How do I know that? When I reached 30s is when I started to understand, god damn. Jonte tulikuwa na yeye sasa kichwa yake imeanza. There's a DJ who posted online. I think he was in Bali somewhere. And he said, now I'm enjoying life. Now I finally, I've started to make money. And then goddamn, the hair is going, So hair is such a big conversation, especially for guys. I don't want to pretend like I know. So tell us.
I was in Istanbul, was it 2 years ago? And I was accustomed to the idea of medical tourism, but not as pervasive as I saw it in Istanbul. Everybody had like a bandage, especially on the head. And tons of men had gone there for hair transplant. I've been balding since I was maybe 35. And I've sort of gotten accustomed to this clean shave.
Were you in denial?
Not really.
Is it just you woke up, you saw the gap and you're like, let's go?
One day I slept and I woke up with a chipped tooth and I panicked. That's the only time and I went to the dentist and they said, maybe you grind when you sleep. I was like, oh my goodness.
You woke up, you had...
Like a small bit of my lower tooth had chipped. So that made me panic more than the hair. And then another time I woke up, I was, brushing my hair and then I saw like a gray strand of hair. And I was like, oh my God, my sunset days are over. But still, I didn't panic. Men carry these receding hairline and a swollen belly with some sense of bravado. I think women are more attuned with themselves and more sensitive. You see how a guy with the most generous belly hooting off laughing while drinking beer like nothing is happening.
Bro, and
he laughs, then the stomach laughs, and he's just fine.
And it's like, now we understand that, like, that's just like years of shell that hasn't come out of your tummy.
But you see chicks wearing that tight thing, what is it called?
The waist trainer.
The waist trainer.
Even guys are wearing it.
Are they?
Yes.
But I find men where expertise is needed to bring a lot of bravado. You don't see that? Like, have you ever met a man who has bravado going only?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you're just like, okay, so in the media space where I've worked for 15 years, like, but me, I know media. So I'm like, from where? So he wants to prove to you that he knows because he's a guy. So I about hair, it's not really bothered me, but I think sometimes these insecurities are invited from whence we grew up. So maybe your dad or mom said something injurious about your appearance. I know an older guy, he's in his 70s actually. He says he oversprays because his aunt used to tell him that he smells like a goat when he was a teenager. So even now in his 70s, one of the most biggest expenses
God damn.
Yeah.
I could smell it.
Can you imagine? So he sprays the shoe, he sprays the socks, he sprays because he don't want to smell like the goat. So imagine somebody who was told by the dad that your hairline is funny. So that can be...
My dad used to tell me, we were laughing about this last weekend, where sister you'll have to marry a cobbler. Are you seeing what I'm saying?
All right, because of your...
You'd be like, because I think it was like class 6 or class 5. Can't remember which one of those, class 6, where now there's like exponential growth, right?
Yes.
And it's happening.
You're
and
buying shoes every 3 months.
You know what? You get it.
Yes.
Yeah. So my dad is just like, we're still in first term. We're still in first term. You're going to marry a cobbler, okay? Prep for it. Kiatu itakuwa expensive.
Did you ever get insecure about your feet?
Of course.
Really?
Of course. I had insecurities even about my height, right? Yeah. And I didn't realize. They were just jealous. They were jealous. Yeah. People wish they could be tall.
I've been insecure about. My mom used to tell me that I laugh funny.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? She'd just yell in the other room, which means? Like you're laughing like some whore.
But what?
Can you imagine?
My mom used to tell me.
Suppress my laugh. But now when I laugh, guys are like, oh, I like that laugh.
But it gave you
it took me to work in radio for me to be confident about my laugh. Can you believe it?
Because
like
now,
literally 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like, when I laugh, I'm like, maybe they feel like my mom used to feel about my laugh.
My mom told me, guys, if you're not writing in the comment section the stuff your parents told you that gave you a complex, unajifanya, right? Let's assume your parent is mute, right? Because African parents, Doug, did your parents ever tell you something hectic? Your head is big. Your fingers are big. What the fuck?
Yeah,
what's wrong with parents?
I dated somebody who I thought was a very beautiful woman. And I still think they're beautiful. And every time I said, I really love those pants, they fit so well. Oh my goodness, come give me a squeeze, your thighs. She'd really go off. She'd be like, please don't make a comment about my thighs. Yeah. And I was just like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to be mean. Yeah. So one time, in a better time, I asked her, why do you go off when I make mention of, She says, my mom doesn't like my thighs. One time she paraded all of my aunts to scold me that I was growing around my thigh area.
What the fuck?
Can you imagine? And she looked like an auntie and she was in her 20s.
I saw another video of another Chinese babe. But this is not just African. And there's a podcast. Doug, we have to find that video. If we find it, run the tape.
She said, I was a little ugly girl, but mom, in America, dark skin is beautiful. 在美国，黑皮肤很美的，你知道吗？
是这样吗？
是的。
那你是个美女啦？
Yes. Oh my God!
Bro, mamako anasema wewe pretty.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think we need to... You know what I think, Kwambox? I feel like, that conversation we were having earlier, how pastors should be certified and influencers should be certified.
Parents too.
And stuff like that. I think before you get a baby, you should go through a rigorous training on how to speak to a child, where you are raising where you even live,
honestly,
and who your neighbors are.
Honestly. Because
we have a lot of hurting adults. Even these crazy guys who do things with chicken and pakas. And a pata paka. Have you ever seen, one time I was in Doni, and some guy just picked a huge stone and started chasing after a dog to hit it. I was just like, Mbono napiga umbwa. He was just angry.
Yeah.
And then the boss go. Then he hit the dog.
What the fuck?
Is it possible that this Mr. Bosco hitting dog dude was told some very menacing things by the dad? So he lets it out on some sort of an animal, Parents really can be hurtful. Honestly. Look at that woman just smiling there and saying, no, but you're not the prettiest girl alive. Yeah.
Hey, mimi naweza kushika makombo, bro. No, now we are adults. Now we are adults, right? And that's the funny thing, yeah? When you're a kid, they're just busy tunaing your things.
Yes.
You now you're looking because now I'm looking at them like this. What, Ati? Speak up. Anyway. Yeah, trauma. So but fun. Some good news for guys and women. Women also bald, yeah? Alopecia is a thing.
Yes.
And actually when women are growing older, so many things, even like let me not get into medicine. I'm not a medic. Yeah. But you don't have to go to Turkey. And you don't have to have a bandage. Now, if you've already done it, you're in Historia, relax, right? But take a look at what's happening in Taiwan. This is some exciting news. So created a serum. Unajua serum ni ile unapaka tu na mwosho moja tu pap. 20 days later, angalia kichwa. That head was bald.
All right.
Yeah, that was a completely bald head that, of course, we got this tape from a complex, but that was a completely bald head where hair has started to grow. So this is some good news.
Does it work on black people?
I knew you were going to ask this. Unajua foresee. Sijui kama foresee neza. But I foresee that this is coming to Africa for sure. This is also interesting for people you've lost teeth and you want to do implants and stuff. Japan has come up with a new dawa which you paka, and after a few months your teeth grow.
Oh, really?
So I like to talk about medicine that's,
But I read a story a couple of years ago where Wayne Rooney had a hair transplant. And they said
the guy balded at 21.
Yeah, and they said limkata stima ya huku chini in its neither region.
Sasa nani anajua hizi stories za
ilikuwa reported. Can you imagine? Hata bibi yake alilament sana. So uko na nywele but sasa performance ni tricky. Can you imagine?
What has hair got to do with performance?
Who knows what that one thing can do to your limbs?
Unajua hivi ndio machali ukuwa.
No, for real?
No, wacha nikwambie machali, you're very interesting. Because the other day, we were having a conversation, I asked guys, and I'd love your thoughts, right? So you know how birth control works, right? The women go through the utmost craziness, right? Fluctuation also. So if yours works so great, thank you so much, Sister Nancy. Sit down. We're talking for the ones who are suffering, right? Where, you know me, I can, you can see somebody and you just know birth control because they've just either gone, it works differently for different people. But then, see, they came up with a dawa for guys. Would you take it?
I think one of the things you need to first understand
Eriq.
You can't just apply things. See, imetengenezwa Taiwan. Let me give you an example. I went to a Levi's store in Istanbul to look for my jeans. They didn't have my size. Because those guys are small people. Yeah. So then I can't insist where bana unajua huku they are cheaper, I want a bunch of whatever. So labda huyo mtu na nywele yake soft akimeza hatu tutembe itamsaidia imetengezewa watu wa small. Mimi nimeze nianze kugrow ile kitu ya mgongo. So you have to factor in those things.
So babes, they can suffer.
No.
Because it would be tag teaming. Like literally there's no invasive anything. You're just taking the dawa and you're good.
Can you say pull out on this show?
You are saying pull out as you're asking. Yes, you can. Right?
Yeah, so I feel like we are not the same people. We have similarities.
You know, there's somebody who's watching you right now. Ameshikilia mtoto mwenye aliambiwa ati nita pull out.
Hizi vitu pia zinataka kuwa certified na training. Unaweza ingia kidogo alafu ukisikia unaenda kabisa, unaweza toka within 85% to 90%. Hiyo ni time fit. Huyo ambeba mtoto huyo jamaa labda alitoka at 98%.
You hear what I'm saying? So you're automatically saying no.
I have to test and see hii dawa imetoka wapi na inaambatana na mimi.
It's certified, bro. COVID, did you take the vaccine?
I struggled.
But you took it.
I needed to travel.
You took the vaccine. You see what I'm saying?
I needed to travel. But you see the side effects now? There's so many people falling sick.
This is male privilege.
No,
this is what
I understand.
Male
I really
privilege.
sympathize. I have 4 of my friends, close friends of mine rather, whose wives were really struggling with contraceptives and birth control medication and whatnot. So they took themselves and got vasectomies, which is really commendable.
Yeah.
So in small spaces, men are coming out and saying, okay, how can I help?
And guys never shout about this vasectomies.
Yeah, so they go and get it and stuff. But if I'm going to be taking zile pills kubwa mingi, so I have to see the side effects. Nini tamea.
Speaking of certified, right? There's something that's happening in China, actually in Asia. So Japan, there's a city where they decided we need to tell people how many hours they should be on social media. Now, you have a phone, right? What is your screen time, according to you?
I oscillate sometimes between horrible days of doom scrolling And if I'm very, very busy, sometimes maybe an hour in a day.
So
But
what do you
time,
think your
on
average is?
I would say maybe 4 hours every day.
Remove your phone. Go to screen time. I think mine is maybe 6 hours.
Really?
Yeah. And screen time here means all devices.
Yeah.
Because there's a perception that guys think screen time is your phone.
All right.
TV also counts as screen time. Right?
Oh, okay.
So I'd say mine is at 6 hours because I spend a lot of time on my laptop.
Yeah.
What's your screen time saying?
How do you go to screen time? You search on the screen of your phone.
Mimi sasa unajua mimi sijui lakini hapa inasema my daily average is 3 hours 25 minutes.
Where did you search that? On the search bar?
Hii kwa settings.
Kwa settings?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to settings and I see. I may just go
Right.
but on average, does that encapsulate the entire month?
No,
week?
it's saying 3 hours because there are days where I'm probably not going to be on the screen as much, like today. But what's your screen time? Right. Please also do the same and share your screen time. Now, there's a reason I'm telling you about this. This city in Japan has realized that people's productivity and mental health has dwindled. They've done research and realized social media is the problem. Sema meya kwanza kuambia watu wafanye 2 hours a day on social media. Meya kaambia wewe umemea pembe. Yeah? Forget about that story.
Yes.
But China is also taking such bold steps,
Yes.
saying that there's a time they announced that they're limiting the amount of time that kids can be on video games, right? Like literally the government is saying on weekdays and on weekends, X amount of time. And you see, they can be able to check because your account is online, right? So these guys have now taken it a further step. They're saying, watu tu wako kwa internet wakiambia patiana advice, right? Do you follow people's advice on the internet?
Not really.
I'm sure that you have at least 1 or 2 mentors on the internet.
You know, again, I've wondered about these a lot. We've retrogressively made stupid people famous. I don't like this idea of clickbaiting. And then I also worry about our concentration span. And people are sort of looking and seeking out for entertainment, even crass entertainment. And that's why a lot of people have become so audacious. So somebody can maybe just wear glasses, cover their eyes, and say the most vile things. And then they'll get hits. You look at their numbers, they have 150 people are laughing.
So you just talk to Bahati directly. Ongelesha kina Diana hapo tu Bahati. Lakini let's leave Diana out of it. This Bahati is nonsense.
So I feel like we've lowered the bar so much. I think accessibility also comes with demerits. For instance, now everybody with their phone, whatever phone they have, even a 2K phone, you can just record yourself. I mean, to look at TikTok. Everybody's doing anything.
Yeah.
And people are not minding. I saw this older guy, I think he's a Brit guy, maybe he's in his 60s, with a lady in her late 40s, just tearing down Meghan Markle about the way she dresses and saying very vile things on camera. Like, oh, I don't know who the heck she thinks she is. You know, she puts on these expensive jewelries for 300,000 and then she can take a top from Zara, and then they just started berating her, kabisa.
Yeah.
And I watched for like 5 minutes. I was like, is there a punchline? Is there where this thing is going? No.
Yeah.
She was the subject, and berating her was the body of work.
Pretty much. At least them, they were doing it on social media with their own bundles. When you anaenda job, okay, daddy, you're going to work, yes. I work at Daily Mail. I'm going to write an article about, and I'm going to follow her with the camera and just write trash.
Yeah.
And put it in the paper and sell to somebody.
I find that to be preposterous and bizarre. So I just feel like there ought to be some degree of, I like what China is doing. But again, being a communist country, it is.
No, it's not.
China.
Well, there's that the veil of communism is still, well, it's up for debate.
Okay, but the point is, who is going to be deciding that Kwambox is certifiable and Eriq isn't? That becomes a conversation.
You have actually jumped the gun. So China has, for my viewers, has officially, or rather, I don't know whether it's proposing, but is now putting a new law where you have to be certified in the thing that you're proposing online. Say, for example, you're doing online courses. You're telling people, buy packages, I teach you about building wealth. Show us the wealth you have built. Show us where you have been certified as a wealth builder before you can come and tell you, Kuja. I think, what are your thoughts on this? So they're saying if you are not, and those who don't follow the rules, you risk your account being suspended and being fined $14,000.
I think that's beautiful, to be honest, especially if you're posing as an expert. See, you show us your expertise.
But everybody on the internet, right?
I feel like all of us can have an opinion. In fact, Denzel was saying the other day that we live in a world of opinionaires. Everybody can have an opinion.
Yep.
But if I am posing as Eriq and I'm going to show you the ABCs of being, what are people training about? Growing a business from one rice to factories.
Billionaires.
See, then you show me your one rice, where you began. Show me your one rice studio. When I came in here earlier, you told me, Eriq, this is where we began 3 years ago, which was a smaller space. And then you ushered me into a bigger space. So that tells a story. But you can't say, it just happened in 2 months. Imagine I did 2 interviews. Nikakuwa tuna space kubwa. So compound yetu yote. Hizo magari zote umeona ya tulibai. Ni God, maze.
Hawa watu wa ni God sasa ndio naenda kusafa. But then I don't know. I'm like yes and no.
Why?
Students are not necessarily the best teachers sometimes, right? So just because I didn't go to uni or I'm not a Harvard student or I didn't learn business management, but I have businesses that I've set up, right? So who determines what is certified, right? Is there? Am I going to get a stamp of certification, right? So I'm guessing that it would be like maybe you're an entrepreneur who has done business administration or something. But like you learn some of the best things from people who have walked the walk, but might not necessarily have the certification.
All necessary truth is its evidence. They say to quell the argument about whether it's raining outside or not, you just step outside. We can't be beating each other inside.
For the rest of us, we can smell the pelican. What's it called? Sorry. We can smell the rain from a mile away. I don't need to go outside to find out.
So success leaves trails. It's not important that the aspects of how you're satisfied meets a particular contour of a desire by the government. But it's just the evidence that Kwambox is a journalist is in the pudding. But sasa wewe hata uwezi andika article. Uwezi ongea. Ukipatiwa script usome kwa watu kiuko.
Ama story yangu tu ni, hey you guys, by the way, umesikia?
Yeah, exactly. Like, where is your source? You're maligning people, you're calling people's names, you're breaking homes. Alafu unasema, no, it's not alleged. Nilimuona.
Do you know what? That could actually work for bloggers, right? That you have to get the certification from. Kabla uende kufungua mdomo yako. Jana nimeona kwanza there's another guy I saw on TikTok from Uganda. And this guy, like, so I'm all about, I tell people, be aware that you have a currency called anger. Okay? You have a currency called anger that people know how to mine to access your attention. Right? So the best way for me to get your attention is not by telling you what you want to hear. Nah.
To rile you up.
Exactly. To rage bait you. So this guy is a perfect example of a rage baiter. I'm not talking about Bahati, he's the mastermind, right? I'm talking about this guy from UG. So Kenyans, of course, are mourning. Now, if you're from any country in the world, I always tell you, if you're on a trend, just say something. Just, this is my cake, Kenya, right? And just watch it go international. So this guy knows Kenyans are mourning.
Remember?
Huh?
We don't have bananas, remember?
Bro. So this guy, Kenyans are mourning Rao. He decides now to give us his own version of things. He's telling us, by the way, Sujui Rao was killed. Sujui, he was sick. Right? And so, how rage baiting works. If this guy would have posted a video and said, by the way, Rao died from, he just gives the whole story, there'd be one view. His comment section was full of people going like, wewe, go. Actually, fake. His numbers are just going. And you can see him is a bomboclat idiot from the village, right? Don't know shit. Cannot tell you whether this is a mag or a cap or you can, but he's there giving us news. So just know that there's a level person well, let me not use level. There's a person who looks at this content and says he has watched the news. And then
That's
they
a shame.
debate Namtu in their kakona speaking about Rao's illness.
Yeah.
So I think that this certification could go sort of a long way, that you would know, and especially a fine like 14K. But then it infringes on freedom of speech.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a tricky balance. I like what Kagame does with the pastors in Rwanda.
Tell them,
so
shut up.
that, unanyamaza and then you go to school of
School,
theology
yeah.
and then unatuletea certificate. Alafu huwezi amka tu umeamka
Siwezi
hapa
guzwa.
Lavington, unaamka unasema the Lord spoke to me to preach to women.
Yeah.
Which Lord? What time? Go to school. Bring us your certificate, and then you tell your Lord that. Which I think there's a procedure and a time for everything. And sometimes when you overlook it, there are so many people who. There's a gossip column. I've never appeared on it, and recently my sister took a screenshot. I have a page. I have a podcast called Ask Eriq, and on Fridays I do TikTok live. Ask Eriq. And for some wonderful serendipity, women love me and I love them.
Of course, we know.
So there's a lot of women who come on and talk about issues of everyday life, lifestyle, money, sex, relationship, not from a place of me advising, just from a place of sharing. A man's perspective vis-a-vis a female's perspective. And my sister sent me a screenshot maybe 10 days ago, and somebody had written on that group of gossip, who does Eriq Stories date? Eriq talks badly about his married friends. And he asks women for money. And it just really threw me off. So I looked at that.
They were not say it wasn't Nani.
And then they said, like Nani.
Are they confusing you for Murale?
So I looked at that and I was just like, that's interesting. And I wonder about such things.
Yeah.
And some of these things I wasn't hurt because it's balderdash. But you see, somebody can pick something you and I have discussed now and just build a whole fire. Just a whole fire, and before you know it, your mom is calling you saying, "Aki ni nini mlifanya na matiti tena studio?" I'm like, "Matiti, mom."
At least my parents are always they're prepared.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I find it sad, and I feel like the government or whoever the legislators are should put some clauses. Not to muzzle people. You can have an opinion, but check your opinions. If it's injurious and it's putting people down, if you have something nasty to say about Kwamboka, it's probably not best for you to say it. You know, truth without kindness is cruelty. Yes, you might say Kwamboka ni mrefu kama reli. But sasa
imagine
inakusaidia aje sasa ukisema hivyo, you know, or you say, you know, Eriq akona masikio popo. You know, so I think one of the things, and people are super confident on the comments. No one can meet you at a mall and tell you the things they will tell you on the comments.
But you know, actually, man, you're really preaching today. Because while you're talking, something just popped up in my head. Remember we were talking earlier about the stuff that your parents tell you, right? And how they give you a complex. Now, let's carry that into this conversation. And, you know, they say had people, right? I mean, well, did I ever... Yeah, I used to make people feel bad about their appearance.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, I had a
in primary school.
Yeah. But then I recently had let me confess. I had an incident I think about 5 years ago. I had a co-host on air, and you know me, I like bunts, but I learned a very pivotal lesson that day. Albeit I didn't want to. Right? I didn't want to learn, but then, you know, pride in the ego in the way. Anyway, so we were on air, and we were just about to get to the top of the hour, and we were looking outside. The sun was shining. You know, it's going to 7 a.m. And I'm like, whoa, it looks like it's going to be a sunny day. Able to ama niwende unanipatia eclipse. That's all I said. So, of course, referencing his head. And we laughed and...
moved on.
Well, we didn't laugh. I laughed. And then, of course, sweep her up. You know. And then shit hit the fan, you know. Shit hit the fan.
Happened?
It's like, what the fuck? You can't be making jokes about my head.
Really?
I'm like, you're making this shit even funnier. You know.
Oh
So of course my ego was in the way, and I wasn't hearing what he was telling me.
Yeah.
So I went up and just like, what the fuck? Like, how can you be upset? Like, that's a joke. Like, how do you not see that that's a joke? But when I went and sat down, I thought about it. I said, it's possible that this guy
has a complex
around his head. And as I said, it's still funny. Sorry, my bad. It's still funny.
Yeah.
But I can empathize, understanding that, okay, this is a soft spot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about that. And so it then now, over time realize that, okay, Sheila, you need to stop mentioning,
Absolutely.
people's body parts, because you never know.
Yeah.
So it could be that these people online are also coming from a place where they are angry about the things that they feel. And so they just come to Funguka on the internet and they pick things. Like, for example, let me just tell you for free. If you're on the internet, which is my camera, hello.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make me feel bad about my body, can you look at me? Can you see me? Just look at me. What are you saying? You're just projecting I'm a specimen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're wasting your time and you're trying to tap into my anger, which
which you're not
on
gonna
that
find.
particular issue, I'm not.
But while you've sort of developed a thick skin and you've learned to come around to accept who you are, a lot of people.
I don't think it's
struggle
thick
with that.
skin. Thick skin is hiding under, like, you don't want to feel this thing. So, for example, like my friend, the guy, he's not addressed that issue. I think he still believes that he has a big head and he's ugly, right? But I had to address that I love my feet. And so what do? Moment I can get money to splurge on my feet, I do it, right? So that I can embrace this thing. Not, I'm going to grow thick skin so that whoever mentions it, I feel. No, it's there will be a moment where someone will penetrate that thick skin.
No, I cannot agree more. I think the point I was trying to make is, while you've done the work, a lot of other people haven't done the work.
Yeah.
So that's the first part. The second part, as much as I would be accepting of my nose, my ears, my eyes, as you rightfully said, somebody may say something so sensitive that would trigger me the wrong way because of where I am in the day.
Yeah.
But I like Mel Robbins' theory about letting people be. One of the most eureka moments in my life was when I learned that people's actions are on them and my response is on me. And that really set me free. That other person can do whatever they want, anywhere from so crazy to absolutely you're mad.
Bro.
And then now I decide, the way you're in the lift and then somebody steps on your nice clean shoes, you can decide to look at it, look up, and just wait for the lift to open and wipe it, or you let them have it.
Yeah.
Like, when you keep off,
honestly.
And so that choice is liberating. That, you've decided to buy your bundles to talk about my pink lovely gown in a berating manner. So that's on you. What will I respond and do? I have an option to block that comment, delete your number, like it, or go on to your page. You've seen these guys on Instagram who, if somebody says a mean thing, they go deep into their photo gallery and look at the worst picture. And then they plaster that picture and then write a mean comment over there. So I feel like we've got no control about how somebody acts. Yeah. That's on them. But our response, we have control over.
Yeah.
And you can walk away from a lot of madness, but there's turning a deaf ear.
Eriq, you've just reminded me of one of the most saddest things I've seen on the internet, which ended up being a moment of Phoenix rising from the ashes. This lady from Malawi, she's called Pulula, right? Bro, it's that thing we've just discussed right now about how you can appreciate yourself as much as possible. And if you don't learn to do that in this world where, you can be insignificant and tomorrow you're on CNN.
Yes.
Or this evening you're on CNN.
Yes,
you're the biggest trend in the world.
Yes.
This is what happened to this lady. Yeah. She posted a selfie of hers and she was trending because people thought she was ugly.
Oh, really?
I'm sure you've seen her.
Oh, the
right?
lawyer.
She has exactly.
Oh,
right? Bro, I was early this year. When you reach a place, you're like, if this woman did not prepare herself psychologically for this moment, this is that breaking point. The world, people from all over the world are just deciding. Watch out, at least your mother. You can deal with one person. You can have anger with her forever.
Yeah. I remember
strangers,
when I stumbled upon a picture the first time and I read the comments and people are saying very mean things.
We live in a world where that thing you think You don't even allow, like hakuna hata waiting room, kaa hapo kwa reception ngoja tuone kama unatoka. Nothing. It is just from here you are meeting it. We are all meeting it, including you out here.
At the same time.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Skin, we were taught, have thick skin. No. It's not thick skin. Nataka ujiangalie kwa kioo, jiangalie kila pali. Unajua kuna sehemu zingine Eriq haujaiona? Unajua kuna sehemu zingine za mwili yako wewe macho yako hajaiona. Na si hati ziko ndani. Zote ziko nje. Wewe mwenyewe haujajianalyze. Mimi nakwambia hakuna place ya hii mwili yangu sijaiangalia. Nimeangalia kila kitu. Najipenda. I know every single mark, so that wewe ukuja, if you're going to, and people just somebody could take a photo of me and the world unilaterally agrees
with what they've said.
That I am the most, and that day I am low on energy. I haven't eaten. I'm a babe. Don't catch me when I'm hungry. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right? That this could be that point.
Absolutely. So I think we can all exercise kindness. It can be true that I have a massive forehead, and maybe I've seen like Kwambox, I've looked in the mirror and I'm like, wow. I can be a headmaster. but it's not for you now to start telling me. See, I've seen, and I'm a bit... So sometimes we can just sit some of these things out. We give too many opinions, especially about things people cannot change. Somebody's height, somebody's length, somebody's breadth, somebody's... It's even true that they didn't last so long. Ni ukweli. You were there and they lasted a short time with you. So you can just keep that information in yourself. Sasa now you've made a whole blog. Nilikuwa kwake nao. Niki file makucha acha tu nikwambie. Sema kadudu. Sema kadudu. As in mtu unaona. Unajua kwa kijaka. Wanasema ni long lilo, as in trouser empty. Imagine nili witness na macho zangu mbili, hakuna kitu. Alafu ananiambia umesikiaje? So niko gai, kwani nimdanganye? Sikusikia kitu. Si after nitoke ndio nikapiga saa. Omwami ndiani.
Let me ask you. It's so interesting you brought that. Before we get to our last story, I think we're on our last story. There's a I call it the agenda. The agenda, which is men versus women, and everything in between there, right? And I can feel that it's being driven by there's somebody who it feeds into, politicians, governments, But women and men are holding such a high. You guys, versus them. And then guys on the other side, you guys, So nowadays when I'm looking at comment sections on anything, like for example, we're talking about whatever, right? You're going to defend men to the death of it, right? and we're going to be like, I relate with every woman's struggle, every scenario, and it's like, it's not sustainable.
It isn't.
It's not sustainable. I don't think men are my enemy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of fuck men, right? Yeah. That are
detrimental to both sexes. I agree with you. I hold the view that we can call BS when a woman is performing BS and when a man is performing BS, and we don't need to take sides. Every time I see something heinous online, a gross misconduct by a man, you see men rallying behind him and say, hey, waonyeshe, wametubeba. I saw a story my friend shared with me where I think a footballer had hidden money, or even Akon. Akon hid money in the parents' account or something. Yeah. And all the men were like, yes, they're good for her. She should not take your money. And then I saw a different story of a woman who done something, and all the women were like, yes, give it to him. So I hear what you're saying, but it's quite disingenuous. We belong to one another. We belong together. You're richer when I treat you kinder. I am richer when you treat me kinder. If you rebuke me from a place of care, I become better for it. If I rebuke you from a place of care, you become better for it.
All right, let's now we've done the PR part. Now let's get deep. Right?
No, for real.
No, I'm serious. Yes. Like now we've done the PR part, right? Now let's get real, right? The day before yesterday, I was on a call with a friend of mine, and we were on call for about 4 hours, and I was just explaining to her that I'm done. I don't want to date men. I'm done. I'm done. Nimechoka, right? I've reached an age where I'm just like, staki kusikia story yako. Siko baya, staki kusikia story yako. Number two, I'm going to give you the perspective from my life. I'm not going to say from a woman's life, right? So, you know, you're bombarded with, now, you know, it's like the religion story, right? It was easier when there was no information.
Yeah.
But now with information, it's just like, I can't, right? So with the structure of what is expected in a relationship, I just don't think I'm equipped. So I and a lot of other women are choosing to stay away. Like, I'm not seeing the value of bringing a man into my life. I don't see it. Like, na mtu ataniambia, but maybe you can bring money. You know, like, by the way, for real, right now, maybe it's like financial. Because being single is very expensive. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So having a partner would make it easy. So now we're even thinking about things like, I have friends who are also thinking in the same direction. The other day I met a 27-year-old. 27-year-old. And she said she doesn't want to date. She doesn't feel the need. The way guys are handling life, it's like we're not aligned. You get what I'm saying? Guys, men. So she would rather just not participate. And there's a whole movement going on in places like Korea, Japan, where young women are just choosing to stay out of the dating. Like, I can have fun, but I don't want, in fact, forget even I can have fun. They don't want even the fun, no sex, nothing. Yeah. So that's from my perspective. Do you want a partnership?
I think it's very difficult to meet people who fit the contours of our needs and quote unquote a congenial spouse. It's very difficult. Again, to bring religion just a tiny bit, it says he who finds or she who is found. The converse scripture for he who finds a wife has found a good thing is a faithful man who can find. Okay? So
The key word is
finding.
faithful.
Faithful, who can find. So I think good things are hard to come by. You have to sort of work for it. The idea around finding precipitates seeking. And that seeking can be exhausting. Hence people being on Tinder and Bumble and all of these spaces. And you still meet...
Do you do dating apps?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, I've never. I find it weird to blockade yourself. Like,
No,
I mean, people who do it, cheers.
I hate
but
that I can't be able to. I told my friend the other day, I said,
maybe
I'm
you should
going
have
to
a
try
friend
in
to set it
another
up for
country.
you. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, is there no setup where you can say Tinder, but for US only? I don't want these people to see me.
So that's what I'm saying. I want to go try Tinder.
Thailand.
Like in, I don't
So
know.
you
Like,
can meet those nice people who you can hug down like this.
yeah.
So I feel I would want to be in a serious, meaningful, long-lasting partnership and relationship or marriage, whichever format we choose. But I'm also very careful not to buy into the Hollywood drama. And I
Which we grew up watching and anticipating.
I think what is happening to some of us, especially millennials, is that we are meeting people with their real realities. Dude is 42. He's not held a job for the past 5 years. And he's in between benevolence of uncles and relatives. And he's trying. And at the same time, he would want to have sex. And at the same time, he would want to have sex with a woman. And this woman happens to have a job, and this guy is in between things. You know, the Mr. In Between.
Yeah.
And now, when you try and match that with what you saw growing up on Sex and the City, where some guy was a big architect flying in from Boston to take Samantha for dinner, you're like, where is my Boston dude? So I think the reality now is catching up with us. So I feel, and this is not a very romantic view, good things will take time and they require work. And that work is what a lot of us don't want to do. Number two, I believe that we have a perception of who people are. The perception that people have when they watch you is far removed from who you are. They come in contact with Kwambox looking so good, made up, you know, matching earrings with kerea. But then there's a Kwambox who may have woken up sneezing heavily
I woke up with a
Because she
nasty
has-
hangover today.
Yes, and maybe you have allergies.
Yeah.
You don't present allergies here.
Yeah.
Nobody sees that.
Oh my God.
So now the person you choose, who chooses
I
you.
hate those. I can't live with somebody who has allergies.
You see
I can't.
that?
I can't.
Exactly
I'm
my
sorry.
point.
I can't. Oh, I can't.
So I feel like we have a perception of who people are, and we go further to create a perception of who a woman should be. Okay, based off of many perceptions that we saw growing up.
Yeah.
So maybe your dad came to the house and cleared his voice and said, and your mother knew immediately that means ugali ya wimbi moto na
Iko
terere.
wapi, bro.
I don't care.
Anatumia shorthand.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now you try it with Kwambox, you'll clear your throat and to the depth.
Unajua paka nakuja nakuletea. Kwani ya unataka ko? Ala?
So my point is, we play.
Imagine Eriq as in me now. At your in the sitting room. What are you expecting? Wewe utalala nja. Utalala nja. Nita serve hapo nikuje nikae next to you nasema ina hiyo homa inakusumbua. I am not. Like and you see the person that you were prepared for is not me.
So that's the point I'm trying to make here. So you see, for me to get you from the place of serving your plate and eating it to you caring enough to know that when I clear my throat, I may want you to serve me some, requires conversation. You see what I mean? So we meet and play with people who have perceptions that are different from ours. We work and talk to people who have emotions that are different from ours, and they play out very differently. So I would say very strongly, divorce yourself from your ideal and prepare yourself for an ordeal. Maybe that could be a good place to start.
I am coming from the ordeal. Right? So I'm past. Like I've reached, like I'm being genuine. I'm being genuine.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say that. I think I have an active, like I've met amazing people.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to say that the people I've dated are bad. Like they're amazing people. Yeah. That's where they are.
Yeah.
But for the things that I like, when I think of Kwambox, you know, because like now I'm 40, you know, so
Wow,
yeah,
you look
so
amazing.
Thank you. So
I couldn't say you're 40. When did you turn 40?
this year,
Oh my
May,
goodness.
yeah.
Wow.
So every time we have this conversation here, it's like a surprise. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I was telling my friend that I think the most beautiful thing about this age is that, and we laughed for like 30 minutes on this. I was just like, you can look back.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
There is things to look back at. Like
Yeah,
you can now study yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before that, there was not enough
Yeah.
to look back at.
You didn't have enough
but
data.
now you have enough data. You know how you behave, why you know what kind of a person you are. So you're now looking at your life and saying, okay, cool. This, of course, for the next 10 years or 20 years or whatever, this is the direction I want to go. And so, of course, relationships is also a strong part of that, and, you know, part of make or break.
Yes.
And so I'm drawing very serious things about what it is that I want, and very clearly, I don't think there's a human being out there that we can, like, unless, I think I'm now settled to the idea of doing life with friends.
Well, there's some of that, but also we have to be careful not to cause experience to impede potential. Sometimes we are very fatalistic as human beings to believe that what is true right now, what has been true yesterday, will be true forever, which is at best false. Life is full of surprises.
True.
Earlier, you're saying that you can wake up in the morning coming to talk to Eriq on a podcast and end up in CNN. If that is a possibility, it's also possible that you'd fall spectacularly and desperately in love in a way that would shock so many people,
That's
yourself included.
so right. That's so true.
Okay?
That every time I say this, that's exactly what happens,
Yes.
right? So I end up tripping.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm a bit more clear about this is because when I was 25, right, it would be so easy to date.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it would be so easy.
Your
Guess what?
expectations are low.
I thought everybody, like I go into this and I'm waiting for this adventure. I'm ready for the adventure. I'm an adventurer.
Yeah.
I'm very adventurous.
Yeah.
Now, how many times do I hike Mount Kenya?
Yeah.
When I think about experience, do I just say I'm going to drive through the Namib desert? I just wake up and go to Namibia? No, I think about it very clearly. So when I think about dating, this is how I approach it. how much peace do I want to give up? There's nothing wrong with you. But for me to be able to get you into my life, remember, it's like I'm a train and you're a train. But now we want to merge these cabins because we're heading the same direction. Remember, I'm operating quite ninasonga, right? But now so first I'm going to slow down, right? Because we have to merge, right? Number 2, I have to create room, right? And 3, so as we're doing that, after a while, I'm going to get bored, right? Because success rates, there's a relationship. I mean, I'm here, I'm single, right? So when I think about, do I want to get into another one? But I think about it very critically.
I understand where you're coming from. But this is also what I must say. Instead of how much peace do I want to give up, can we change it to how much peace am I going to get?
Bro, I am in love with my own company.
I understand that. But is it possible that you can expect wonder? Can there be room for more bliss? Or are we saying that the bliss you've gotten by yourself is all the bliss there is? Can it be possible that as I'm moving at 420 kilometers per hour in my own train, and she's moving at 460 or 80 kilometers per hour in her own train, we can make more lanes so that our speeds are higher together?
You see, now you're taking me back to fairy tale.
No. I just want you to come away from being fatalistic.
No, actually...
And I'm not even saying that you are a prophet of doom.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that wonder, life is filled with wonder.
True.
There are many, many times where you would cast aspersions and then life surprises you.
Bro, I was just checking out this influencer, really famous influencer back in the day as we wind up. Well, she's not back in the day. She's like popular now. Yeah. We've just seen her grow. She's called Jojo Siwa.
Yeah.
Yeah? Jojo Siwa at some point came out as gay, right? And now she has to apologize to her fans because she's dating a guy. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I do understand that, life is up and down. But like, I can tell you that I'm not actively trying to date.
I feel like, you know what I feel, Kwambox? I feel like we are all ready for a relationship when we don't need one. And you're in a good space and it's going to happen.
Wacha kupatia watu opportunity.
Sikudanganyi. When you don't need one, that's when tutakuwa na utalia harusi yako vidip. Tutakuwa na vitambaa makamasi.
So first nani amekwambia tunafanya harusi?
Hata kwa AG hapo mali mtakuwa na wewe utalia tunakupembeleza kuna mtu anakupepeta.
No, but you can't do life with friends.
You could.
Yeah, because like remember
There's
I told
nothing
you,
wrong with
the only
that.
thing I find very, it's like if we can just fix this part, just having to spend all, like the cost. Because like you can imagine a friend of mine, for example, say who's been living with, has been in a relationship where she's been splitting bills with somebody, right? Yeah. And me, for the past 10 years, I do relationships, but we don't do life, right? So you've been paying your bills, right? So you're incurring costs, but they've been splitting. So in the long term, financially, she's made a more wiser decision, right? So that would be a reason to get into a partnership.
I agree. I mean, I'm very careful not to say that I don't like prescriptive ways of doing things. Whatever works for you, as Sauti Soul sang and said, do what makes you happy.
I love that song.
So if it makes you happy, then by all means do it. But I love hope. Hence, I'm referred to as a perpetual
I'm
optimist.
a lover. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
And I like to leave room for wonder. I love to leave. Just you and I haven't spoken for a while, and then 3 days ago you reached out and said, "Eriq, come.
Let's talk." And this has been great.
Yeah, and it's been amazing.
I've really, really enjoyed chatting with you, Eriq. And you know what? You're definitely going to come back because we're keeping the seat a rotating seat. I've really, really enjoyed.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me more about your podcast.
Oh, so it's Ask Eriq.
And it's really fun. I like it.
Is it? Yeah. Thank you. So it's on YouTube and Spotify, and I do shorts on TikTok. My handle on TikTok is at ERIQ_stories. And same applies to Instagram, and same applies to Spotify and Apple Spaces. So check it out. I speak about sort of similar conversations. but you're better than I am. I'm trying to catch
No, we're
up.
not. No, we're not.
I'm trying to catch up. We speak about money, sex, relationships. I have a live shoot with an audience on the 6th of December. I'm excited about that.
Nice.
So, yes, please follow me, and then I'll give all the details as you'd want. And thank you so much for having me.
No, I thank you for coming through. And of course, Douglas on production. Guys, it's been another awesome episode of Run the Tape. I want to leave you with a question. Of course, I want to leave you some homework, right? And we can debate this online from whichever country you're from, right? Let's imagine someone is crowned Miss your country, right? Yours being Kenya, right? Like, and they're not... They are born in that country, but they're not from that country. Like, say, do you think a Sudanese can be Miss Kenya? Let's discuss that online. Hit us up in the comment section. Can somebody who's not from your country but has been born and raised there, so technically they're, but their heritage is from another. Let's say, can a Somali be Miss Nigeria?
I can put a spanner to the works. We see a lot of Kip Kemois going to run in Qatar.
Oh, they're bought.
And
Umenunuliwa, man. Hiyo Qatar limesema, hey, sasa tusiponunua, they will never win any athletics. Even if we give them 1,000 years. They will never.
But would we celebrate the Kipkelians as Kenyans, or we just let
them... watu wako job. Hii gavasi inaambia watu waende majuu get job. Mtu wako job.
Wako hustle.
Wako hustle. So let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Also, by the way, fun fact, we have a big interview. So Run the Tape will be, of course, coming out every single the day it comes out. But on Sundays, we are resuming with our interviews. And starting this Sunday, we have a very big conversation. I will be interviewing somebody who was in Gaza when October 7th happened. She's a survivor. And yeah, it gets deep. We're talking about Israel and Palestine. Don't miss that. That's happening this Sunday. Make sure you're right here on Boxpod. And remember to share. I love your thoughts. Whether you're angry or you're not, please, in the comment section.